always check my hair. Not check it before I start the video. Anyways, I'm headed up, what is this, like 301 through Citra, Florida. I think I'm probably like 10 minutes from Hawthorne, Florida. Anyways, I'm headed north finally. I've got the BMW M3 in the trailer, and I have I think they call it a Legend model dirt track car. I'll show you. I'll hop in the trailer when I stop here. I've just been like so busy the last, the last 2 days, 2.5 days, that I haven't really had time to video any of the unloading, because everybody's standing right there waiting on me. It's like these people couldn't get this stuff fast enough. But it's nice that they come out and I just get it out of the trailer, they pay me, and they take the car, and I don't have to try to get in their lot or anything. I was really just parking on the street to unload. And then yesterday, to pick up the BMW, it was a community. It wasn't a gated community, but it was a community where I was able to go in through the main entrance. I just have like a sign out front with the community name on it, but I was able to go in, and they have a roundabout. I was able to take the roundabout all the way around, come back out, park in the middle, in between like 4 lanes. There's just like an open middle lane, like where the center, there's like a little building at the entrance where that sits. So I had plenty of room, and that's where he met me to pick up the BMW, because he knew I wouldn't be able to get really down his street, which was awesome. It was nice of him. He just sold his car as a young kid, but said he was just going to focus his money at other places instead of spending all his money on this car, which I can respect. He took a couple pictures, said goodbye to his car, and a dealer up in Maryland actually bought it off of him. So I'm taking it to the dealer. I'll drop it off tomorrow. And then this morning at about 7 a.m. I met this guy to pick up this dirt track car. I had to unload the BMW and put the dirt track car in the front, because the dirt track car is really light. It only weighs like 1,000 pounds. So I wanted that up front, and then the BMW in the back, plus the BMW gets delivered first. And I've been on the phone this morning talking to a consulting company, I guess what you would call them. They do like technology and stuff, and computer programming and things like that. For trucking, they've worked with Super Dispatch, they've worked with Assertis, they've worked with not Run Buggy, what's the other one? Autosled. They work with Autosled. And I guess they'd seen my videos on YouTube or TikTok or something. They reached out via email and just asked if they could pay for 1 hour, whatever I charge for 1 hour, for some consulting. And I was like, yeah, that's no problem. I wasn't really sure what questions they were going to ask, and we got into really just talking like what would make our jobs easier. Like they work with Super Dispatch. That's by far the best app to do inspections and stuff on, for picking up cars or equipment. You can use it for anything. Electronic BOL is awesome, especially the fact that it imports a paper BOL. If it's in the correct format, it'll import it. Okay, this guy's just gonna stop in the middle of the road. That's cool. Welcome to Florida. You just import it straight over to Super Dispatch. And we were talking, and we finally got down to talking about like the state of the industry. And I was like, they asked me like if I'm having a hard time with the way the economy is, and I said, believe it or not, I'm having the best. These last probably 4 or 5 months are probably the best months I've ever had. Less work, more money, and I've made more money in the last couple months than I ever had in this. But I didn't get here by just giving up when times got hard, because that's what you see everybody doing now. I saw something like people, a bunch of paid off trucks getting out of the business because of things being too hard. It's like, if you can't get through the hard times, you don't deserve the good times. And that's exactly what I told them. Now, I don't know if that any of our conversation will come out in publication or whatever. They're just going to use it for their, because we talked about a lot of stuff as far as technology wise, and you know, it just got me thinking that these people, they can't handle the heat. You got to get out of the kitchen, and it's, if I didn't have any of my direct customers that I do, I would be still doing what I'm doing, but I don't think it would be as good. And I just take the, you know, the hard times, and you know, don't celebrate too hard on a victory, and just keep pushing. Like I always just say, I just gotta, when I'm having good weeks, I just gotta keep my foot on the gas and keep that going, and don't get lazy. Don't sit around because you made a bunch of money and not go back out and do that the next week. And that's what a lot of people do. But you know, I haven't even taken a vacation this year. I haven't had a weekend. I went out of town, which I usually do multiple times in the summer. I usually take an entire week at the beach. Haven't done that, and that's not because of money. It's because of spending money. It's because I just have the work, and I want to stay with my foot on the gas. But for what that's worth, you know. So I'm headed north. I'll be back in town. Got about 12 hours of driving left, so I'll be back. Started early today, so I'll be done early-ish today, and then start early again tomorrow. I'll be back in town before unloaded, and probably back near my house by lunchtime. So it's perfect. You don't realize how far, when you go to Miami, how far south Miami really is once you get into Florida. It just feels like it takes forever. I stayed in Fort Pierce last night. Stayed in Fort Pierce last night, and it was the first time I actually had to pay for parking. I've never paid for parking in my entire 5 years or whatever I've been doing this. I paid for a reserved spot last night because I was worn out. I needed a shower so bad. You know how hot it is down here. All I wanted to do was get a nice cold shower. Is all I wanted. And I looked at hotels and get a room and like go like jump in a pool or whatever, but had to pay for parking for the first time ever, which I was okay with. It was alright. It was what it was. And I'm rambling at this point, so let's continue north, and then I'll show you guys when we stop here in a little bit. Got about 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so we'll have to stop here in a little bit and fill up main tank and the aux tank, and I'll show you what. Well, another day, another load of brand new trucks. Had a little damage on this one. That scratch would come out, but that's something I want to get blamed for. Got two of these Chevy 2023s. They are they get amp steps, and they put leather seats in them. That's it. And they'll head down to a dealership down in Georgia. No wheels and tires, so they're easy to load. Two of the same ones, one in red, one in gray. It has been a pretty good day, knock on wood. It's not as hot outside. The truck says 78. We just crossed into Tennessee on 81. We're headed down to Georgia. Get to Knoxville and then go straight south. Don't really have to deliver tonight. Could deliver tonight if we wanted to. But one of the areas that I go through is kind of like a no man's land. So I'd have to go through there and come back. And I'd like to find a place to park and shower and stuff tonight. So that may be the plan, is to find something I can deliver quick in the morning. The place I'm picking up tomorrow doesn't open until 9. So I have time in the morning. I'm not much like a sleeper in, so like if I get it all done, I still wouldn't really sleep in anyways. So other than that, I've got I've got 8 total coming down to this one dealer. I'm gonna probably handle 6 of them on my own, and I think I have another guy that's gonna run 2 of them down for me.
I look out across the water, I smell the salt and feel the breeze, but in my heart I hear the calling of my old home, Tennessee. Rivers flow, why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my mind.
Back. We delivered Hotshot 107 truck just passed me. Anyways, I don't know where those guys are based out of. They always have a bunch of like leased on drivers. Anyways, dropped in Blue Ridge, Georgia at roughly, what time was that? About 7:30-ish. Got unloaded in 15-20 minutes. Now I'm headed north to Oak Ridge, Tennessee. 2 hours and some change north from Blue Ridge. I got a truck to pick up at a dealership that goes back to close to my town. I know the guy it's going back to. I guess you could say he has like a dealership. I don't know where they make their money from, but he's got a Lamborghini, so take that for what it is. And he's young. He's like in his 30s and has a Lambo. So I don't know. Anyways, got a truck that goes back to him, and I knew the town that it was going to and what it was. I saw on the load board. I was like, let me make some money going back, something easy, close to the house. I'm sure I can just drop off anytime, and he'll just, you know, Venmo me or Cash App me or whatever it may be. So I'm headed there now. Sold to ACV. Newer 6.7 Power Stroke. Crew cab long bed, single rear wheel. I think it's a King Ranch. So we'll see. We'll be there in an hour and 12 minutes. We'll see what we got. Well, here's our truck. The lady went to find me the key that was helping me. Crew cab long bed. Got some scrapes and stuff, some scratches. Gooseneck. Plug in the bed for the trailer lights and brakes. It's got a backup camera. It's got like brand new Michelin tires on it. I mean brand new. Big bumper on the front. Actually a ranch hand, which is not cheap at all. She went to find me the keys, and I'm parked over there in front of that like little shopping center. And it's a King Ranch, which is pretty nice. So I will stand here and wait for her, and hopefully it don't take too long. She didn't seem like she does that very often. It's a little flatbed truck here. It's got tags on it. Nice auxiliary tank. Wonder if it has a back tag on it or not. Maybe it was a trade-in. Doesn't have a back tag on it. No, it's got a tag in the window. Must be in for service. The service department's right up there. Not really sure where she had to go get the key. She hopped in her Tesla and drove somewhere. I told her I'd meet her back here because I saw it sitting back here from the road. It's not hard to spot a maroon a maroon long bed truck, especially a Ford at a Dodge dealership. Well, the adventures continue. This thing, it's a nice truck, won't start. She says it won't run. The battery's dead to start with, so I can't tell if it's like a CP4's out of it or what the issue may be. Does it have a CP4? It's a 2012. Is it a 2012? I don't know. There might be something wrong with it. It smells funny in here. I can't put a pinpoint on what the smell is though. It smells like, I don't know if it's ether, like someone was trying to start it with ether. It's just got a smell in here. So I asked her to go get a jump box or send somebody from service down that has a jump box, like a porter or something, because my truck's way over on the side street. There's no way to even get back here unless you had a rollback. So, and if it doesn't run, I'm probably just gonna leave it here. It sucks, but someone's gonna have to pay some money for me coming out of my way and then getting here and wasting time. I guess we'll see when this lady's super helpful though, so can't blame her for it. She says, I don't know if this thing runs. Somebody made a note that it doesn't run, and I said, is it just a dead battery? And she didn't really have an answer. But let's see if she sends somebody down here. Well, you want to know how yesterday turned out? Turned out coming home with an empty trailer. 532 mile deadhead. Yep. To hell with them. So I contacted the broker and said, hey, this truck doesn't run. And he said, what about a winch? I said, the only problem is this trailer, this truck's in a position where in this dealership lot that you're never going to get a trailer in there. It's going to have to be brought out by a rollback and put on the trailer with a rollback. And he said, okay, well, can we do that? And I said, well, the only problem is if I wait around for a rollback to put this on my trailer, then you're taking up essentially 2 spots on my trailer, because I can't move this thing. Once it's on there, I can't move it around to load or unload anything else. So you're really gonna have to, you know, pay for the whole trailer. Well, they weren't willing to do that because they said that the truck was sold running, so the customer would have to go back through ACV auctions, and I'd assume get money back, or the truck was just gonna stay there and then be resold as not running. The dealership said that the truck was towed in, not running, and the guy just traded it in that way, which explains, you know, why the truck had brand new tires on it and looked so good. The guy just traded it in a hurry, didn't have time to wait around to get it fixed, or didn't want to pay to have it fixed. So I just left it there, and somebody's gonna have to figure out how to get it back, but that's not my problem. He wasn't willing to, you know, essentially double the rate on it, plus the downtime of waiting for, you know, a rollback. So I would say double the rate plus $200. He wasn't willing to do that, and he decided that dry run fee of a measly $50 would keep me happy, and I just didn't even respond after that. I decided that 532 miles later, I was going to be home and I was going to be done for the week.